It is so annoying when people ask, why are you single? Well, let's see. Today, I went to the gym, stayed as long as I wanted to. Didn't have to worry about anybody else. I cleaned my house how I wanted to. Nobody could nag and tell me I was cleaning the wrong way. Then I wanted some tacos, so I went and got some tacos. Nobody could tell me that they weren't feeling tacos tonight. And then I was like, I kind of want some ice cream. So I went and got some Take 5 custard. And no one was like, oh, I'm on a diet. Please don't eat sweets in front of me.
So there you go. This is the problem of the nice guy, right, in 2022. If you're the nice guy that just, wants to make your girl happy, well, guess what? You're going to end up miserable. She's going to, try to control all your actions. She's going to complain incessantly. She's going to talk about what you're not doing all the time, even though you're giving her a lot of good things. Just the modern 2022 woman in a nutshell.
I do whatever I want. I don't have to worry about anybody's feelings. Someone sent me a booty pic today. Fucking highlight of the day. You think I'm gonna trade that for some constant pussy that I have to beg to get?
Right, and another problem of the nice guy is that he doesn't have genuine desire from his girl. So, because he doesn't have genuine desire, the girl never actually wants to sleep with him. She says things like, men don't need bedroom fun. You won't die if we don't have it, or whatever. That's true, but I also don't need to keep my eyes open, but I like to see, and other such arguments. It's ridiculous.
And someone, to cuddle with at night? I'm good. I have a weighted blanket, 25 pounds. I'm good.
Okay, men lock their phone because they don't want to lose it, and someone run across wifey nudes. Women lock their phone because they're texting other men. Let's argue. So, there you go. I mean, it's basically, that's about right. So what the guy is arguing is that men are actually pretty loyal in relationships, and women tend not to be. Again, in 2022, that is certainly the case. Pretty much the idea is this. Girls have lots of access to attention from other men in 2022. They have dating apps, they have Instagram, they have Snapchat, they have etc. So they're constantly receiving messages, and they don't want you to know about it because, well, obviously, they want to have a backup plan should your relationship fail, or, should you go down slightly, they want to jump to the next guy, branch swinging, etc. So, there you go.
Out of nowhere, she starts becoming dry and starts giving you less attention. I'm gonna tell you why. There's two things that could be happening. One, she's either talking to her ex and thinking about getting back with him, or she's talking to another boy. Don't even ask her why she's acting the way she's acting. Just drop her and move on.
If a girl has
Literally, that's exactly right. So, if your girl suddenly goes from 100 to 0, she's cold in bed, she doesn't talk anymore, she's giving you the cold shoulder, she starts making excuses, she stops doing what she used to do for you, etc. Well, she's obviously talking to another guy, and it's right. You don't have to talk to her at all. You can literally end the relationship there. A man's power is his ability to walk away. So you can walk away at any time. So again, here is my attitude towards relationships. Man doesn't need a girlfriend. He just needs friends with benefits. So she has to convince you every single day why you should want a girlfriend. And if she can't, if she's poor at convincing you why you should want a girlfriend, then I guess you shouldn't have one.
brown hair, you would be like, you know what? I really like blondes. Or like, you know why it would never work between us? Because we'd always fight and I'd always win. Right? That's like the oldest line.
This is
but it's a
cocky and
takeaway.
funny.
We wouldn't be a good fit. You're awesome. Like, you know what? We're going to make really good friends. Say that to a girl. We're going to be really good friends. Right? It's a takeaway. It's disqualifying her. Every guy she talks to is not saying that. Every guy she talks to is like trying to make her like him or trying to impress her. And you're the one guy who's like, we're going to be really good friends. And all of a sudden, she becomes interested in you, even though she wasn't 5 seconds ago, because you hit.
She's going to chase because you're communicating that you're of higher value. You don't need female attention so much that you have no problem being friends. Or you're making no effort at all to try to seduce her, so it's really obvious that you're a high value guy, because only high value men can afford to say no to an opportunity to get laid. Hello and welcome to the Helios blog. My name is Helios, here for another reaction video. If you're new to the channel, liking the content, please hit the sub, hit all for notifications. And if you'd like to support me, I do have a Patreon with exclusive content. It's patreon.com/theheliosblog. Just go there and subscribe to any tier. Any level of support is appreciated. Let's continue.
Hit the brake pedals instead of the gas pedal. So in the copy, you can do the same thing. Hit the brake pedal.
Bye.
I love you. Why aren't you saying it back?
Don't be coming here acting ignorant. Go watch the video. That was a really good video. So, you know, a lot of times, you know, these videos are pranks, right? But these are really practical applications. These are things that you can really do to game your girl, to keep her on her toes, to keep her guessing. If you normally tell your wife or your girl that I love you, when she says it, just don't say it back. Don't say it back. And then
So, I love you is like texts, okay? She should be saying I love you in a 2 to 3 ratio. So you say it twice for every time she says it 3 times. The point is that she should show more interest in you than you show in her, so that you're on top. Because women are hypergamous, they want superior men. So that's why that sort of thing works.
that video, of course, she's gonna think you're cheating. She's gonna think you don't love her. Do this for a few days. Just refuse to say it back and don't argue. Just say, I'm tired. I don't feel like saying it. And this is how, you know, a lot of guys, their wife falls out of love with them. They want to initiate it for a divorce because you don't fucking game her. You're not el toxico.
I mean, that's accurate. Basically, women are only interested in Chad. So you have to behave like Chad or else you're going to have a bad time. She's going to replace you with Chad. The point is, again, women are hypergamous. They want a man who's superior to them. And only a man that's superior to them would act like that. Again, women only choose men like that. So if you're not doing those things, you're going to be beaten by a guy that does. My dad thought I wasn't his daughter for 3 years.
I wasn't his daughter for 3 years. My dad was addicted to coke and he forgot my whole childhood.
Oh, I see. This is one of those videos where the girls are like all talking about how terrible their lives are and they're all cheering. Yeah, so again, 2022 is the generation, right, of women not having good fathers, good father figures, just, you know, sleeping around, etc. And so the point is this. Women raise men to be weak because they have no man in the house, right? Because, you know, they're doing all these kinds of behaviors that don't keep men. And so the men grow up to be weak, and then they grow up to be the kind of guys that don't show up, you know, don't do anything, or they're like loser doormats that just do everything that the girl says and she's not attracted to them. So she's either going to choose a guy she's attracted to, but who's, you know, got the traits of literally not giving a damn, basically dark triad, or she chooses a total doormat that she's not attracted to, like Jordan Peterson, for example. And then she ends up miserable, and then the kids end up bad in both situations, right? One situation, the children end up bad because they don't have a father at all, and the other situation, they end up bad because they have a weak father and domineering mother, right? So the way to fix it is for men to actually be strong. So women need to embrace their actual role, which is being the submissive one, and men need to embrace their role, which is being the dominant one, right? But nowadays, women absolutely refuse to assume the role of being the submissive one. They're like, no, I'm strong, I'm independent, I'm a boss babe, I'm better than all of you, I don't need a man, I just want a man. Basically, she's talking like a man and assuming the domineering position. And because she assumes that position, no men that are actually strong want to be with her, and so it repeats the cycle. So again, this is like like womanism and unchained hypergamy having their effects on society.
Yay! My dad forgot about me and then ignored me and called me evil.
Okay.
My dad doesn't acknowledge me and I live in his household. Yay! My dad physically abused me and now he's in jail.
Do me a
Such a great, strong, and independent and empowered video. Wonderful.
favor. Shut the fuck up.
And handle things physically and mentally.
Okay. let's go to an article by Rollo Tomasi. So this is called Compensation. So again, it's the rational male. Just go and read it. One of the higher orders of physical standards women hold for men is height. There are countless threads in the community that address this, but I think that for the better part, it's not difficult to observe this in the real world. I should also add that this is one characteristic that's central to social matching theory, and that humans are sensitive to asymmetries and imbalances. Now, before I get told in so many ways this isn't always the case, or that not all girls are like that, exceptions to the rule, let me start by saying that this isn't the point of this thread. I don't want to debate the logistics of why women prefer a taller mate, or the tendency for like to attract like in this respect. No, what I'm on about is really the root of the infamous short man's disease. That's right. You know what I'm talking about. The ultimate compensation for inferiority, the dreaded short man's disease. You know the guy, about 5'6", pounding out the weights on the bench press, great attitude, hangs with the bigger guys, and throws his ego around. What a tool, right? But if you think this is only limited to short men, you're making a mistake. You see, in so many ways, we all compensate for deficiencies. I recently read a thread on another non-community forum that saw fit to start a topic asking why men lie, and it got me thinking, why any of us lie? I've also been fielding a lot of questions regarding issues you kind of take for granted after having discussed them to death in the manosphere. One of those being the nature of personality and one's ability to change their own, or have it changed by circumstance, or often both. I think it's a tragic miscalculation on our part to think of personality as a static, unchangeable, or to question the ingenuousness of that change, but more tragic is doubting ourselves for that change. One simple truism that a lot of people love to use as their convenient escape is just be yourself. This is, of course, what one says when they don't really know what else to say. Given that, though, what it is that makes a personality shift genuine is, hazy. Any number of us probably know an individual who began acting differently at some point in their life. This can be a result of some kind of tragedy or trauma, or it can be that the individual felt a need to change their fundamental way of thinking and made the change of their own accord. Usually in these cases, we think of them as posers or tryhards trying on something they're not. They reflect this change in their appearance, their regular practices, their friends, or the people they associate with, attitudes, behaviors, etc. And this is what's jarring for people who know their prior personality. From the 48 Laws of Power. Keep others in suspended terror, cultivate an air of unpredictability. Humans are creatures of habit with an insatiable need to see familiarity in other people's actions. Your predictability gives them a sense of control. Turn the tables. Be deliberately unpredictable. Behavior that seems to have non-consistency or purpose will keep them off balance, and they'll wear themselves out trying to explain your moves. Taken to an extreme, this strategy can intimidate or terrorize. What makes us doubt the sincerity of a personal change is what's at issue. If the change is something we agree with or generally think of as positive, we're less inclined to doubt the ingenuousness of this change. But when their change conflicts with our own interests, when it dramatically clashes with what we've come to expect of that individual, this is when we doubt their sincerity. We say, dude, stop trying to be something we're not. We tear it down. We fall back on just be yourself because it clashes with our interpretations. And in this doubt, we fish for reasons as to why a person would want to change. Essentially, what are they compensating for? It might be funny to presume someone driving a monster truck down the highway is making up for a small but the root of that compensating is what makes us feel uncomfortable about our own compensation. It's difficult enough task for an individual to critically assess their own personality, and even more so to effect a change in it. But the final insult is to have others doubt the veracity of it. What others fail to see is that at some point in the development of their own personalities, they themselves had to compensate for deficiencies, discontentments, and prompts to grow and mature. This is a gigantic hurdle for most losers wanting to transition to being something more. On So Suave, we've always called that being a Don Juan, but that doesn't encompass the entirety of maturing. I like the term positive masculinity, but the crux of all of that is the ingenuousness of the actual change. Why are you changing? There is a saying that losers are like a bunch of crabs in a barrel. As soon as one is about to climb out, there's always half a dozen ready to pull him back in again. And add to this the self-doubt from social conditioning that tell him to stay the same, not to aspire to more. He's doing it right, and it's amazing that any AFC becomes, an AFC, like any loser becomes good at life, basically. Okay, so there you go. Let's continue.
On the same level as men. And that we can deal with the same stresses and training that the men can.
The men were faster in each tactical movement, had better accuracy, and were quicker. They registered more hits on target and had a noticeable difference in their performance of overcoming obstacles and evacuating.
Right, so I mean, you can say in words whatever you like, but we know that men are better than women at physical things. We know men are better than women at hand-eye coordination. We know that men are better than women at sports and at war. Of course they are. That's literally what we've evolved to do. So, just like women are better than men in social skills and manipulation, men are better than women at physical stuff. So there's no way that and men are also better at handling stress. So there's no way that women can be better soldiers than men. Maybe than a weak man, but not than a man that's trained specifically to be a soldier. There's no way. Okay, let's continue.
Let's face facts, and this is a reality. Multiple sexual partners leads to serious issues of self-respect, serious issues of depression, serious issues of eating disorders.
In women, but not in men.
And let's not even talk about what happens to their ability to pair bond in the future. The fact of the matter is, studies incontroversially show that women who have had multiple sexual partners tend to have more failures in their marriage. And
that's right. Okay. Want to know the statistics? Here is the success rate of a girl who's never had a partner before marriage. 90%. 90% of marriages succeed. So they don't divorce after 0 partners before marriage. And it starts to go down about 10% for every 1 up until 7. And then after 10, it drops precipitously to like 30% success chance. So again, if the girl you're with has, by the age of 18, already had like 40 partners, her life is basically over, right? The strategy that she wants to affect past the age of 28 is nigh impossible at that point already, right? And she doesn't even know what she's done. This is why so many religions and so many cultures have had rules against sleeping around, because it prevents stability in relationships, right? And if you have stability prevented in relationships, what happens is the children grow up to be weaker, right? They grow up to be less competitive. And this is why in every major civilization, there's always been some sort of strategy to limit women's hypergamy, or their ability to get multiple partners, like they're doing in 2022, because it inevitably leads to the fall of civilization. So
it is a direct correlation. You see, women, young women today, are going after the most attractive men, all of them.
I'd say by our late
Right.
20s, early 30s.
3 reasons.
Right. So, okay. Well, wait. Let me go back. So here's what women do, and I've already talked about this. So the girl said on her TikTok, I'd say by our late 20s to early 30s, we're out of the mean guy dating phase. They sleep with the alphas up until their 30s and then want the beta providers to take the leftovers and provide for them. They give you the 1999 Honda Civic with about 130,000 miles on it, and it was driven hard by about 75 previous owners. So, again, no man wants to be with a girl that every other man has had. And not only this, their pair bonding ability is destroyed. Their ability to actually appreciate you is gone because they're alpha widows. You don't... Like, again, guys, I would not recommend that you date or marry women in this phase. You need to get a girl in her 20s before she's here. And she needs to give you genuine desire if you want a real, serious, long-term relationship with a girl. All right, let's do the fake Tinder profile, and then we'll move on. Again, it's just further support for what I'm talking about. So this is, again, it's fake, but there's a lot to learn even from these fake ones, because girls are literally copying these profiles on their own Tinder, right? So, this is a girl who's 18 on our first date. I'll carve our names in a tree. It's the most romantic way to let you know I have, well, implements. Let's put it that way. So again, what's she saying? She's saying, I have red flags. I'm just here for short-term fun, basically, is the idea. So for Chad, she's just here for short-term fun. And for you, when she's 28 plus in 10 years, she'll be there. You see what I'm saying? All right. So why are we not dating girls in this phase? Let's see.
early 30s.
3 reasons you do not date a woman in that phase. Number 1.
Okay, so number 1 is she's already been ran through. The women that she's talking about are the ones that chose the loser guys, or the assholes. But that doesn't mean they didn't let them sleep with them. All of them got ran through. They're all open, and they got at least 2 children. Well, they don't all have 2 children, but the point is they're unable to pair bond, and they've probably been alpha widowed. They've slept with a bunch of guys. So your chances of having a good relationship with someone like that is slim to none.
She's already been ran through. The women that she's talking about are the ones that chose the piece of shit guys, but that doesn't mean they didn't let them fuck. All them bitches got ran through. They all open as fuck, and they all got at least 2 kids. Number 2, she still sees you as the nice guy from high school. So she's still going to treat you like shit.
Right, so the idea is this. It's like if you've seen the show Friends, right? So it's like, if I'm 30 plus and we're both still single, will you marry me? Like, the point is, I know you're a useful idiot who will save me from all my bad decisions, right? And she's like, you're going to get with a girl who's been ran through, who with you is totally cold in the bedroom. Like, it's not a good deal for a man at all. But so many men in 2022 are in exactly that position, or their marriages ended because they were in that position. They literally chose a girl who was ran through, and then that girl who was alpha widowed had no respect for them, or herself, frankly, and as a result of that, ended up ruining the lives of herself, her husband, and the children too. So she's going to treat you like crap. The only difference now is she's so much lower than she used to be, and she thinks she can give you a chance. So again, I've already talked about this. As women go up in age, their relationship value goes down because their fertility goes down. And not only this, their standards go up because the more men she's slept with, the greater her amalgam is. So women get this thing called an amalgam. So it's every new guy has to beat the best traits of every previous guy. So the more guys she's had, the more traits the new guy has to have to beat the old guys. And so, of course, after a while, the amalgam becomes impossible to beat. She has no respect for any man.
The only difference is now that she's so much lower than she used to be, now she thinks she can give you a chance. Yeah, don't do it. And number 3, most of all.
So number 3, it's not worth it. It's not worth it at all because the only thing that's going to happen to you is you're going to take care of someone else's children and you don't want to have to put up with all their baggage and all that BS. Right, so we're not out here dating single mothers. Again, she should be with the father of the children. Because what this is AFBB, right? So like she has Chad's kid and then she wants the resources of a man with superior resources, right? She doesn't want to replicate your genes. She wants to replicate Chad's genes and have you take care of them. Like, that's utterly ridiculous. We're not out here giving girls a second chance or whatever. And phrases that go with this is like, you're the guy that stepped up, right? You're not the stepdad or whatever. It's like, it's BS. Like, it's just cognitive tricks to get you to eliminate yourself from the gene pool, right? So don't do it.
It's not worth it. It's not worth it at all, because the only thing that's going to happen, you're going to end up taking care of someone else's kids that you don't want. You're going to end up having to deal with all her baggage. You're going to end up having to put up with all the bullshit.
I'm not saying that men are stupid, but I am saying that a large number of them think that posting a picture holding a dead fish is something people find attractive.
Okay. Like, again, guys, like, what is this?
Did you think that turning off duets was going to stop people from making you look like a fucking clown? We don't post pictures of us holding a fish because we're trying to attract someone. We post pictures of the fish because we're proud of the catch and we want to show people. Let me insult you real quick using your own logic. I'm not saying all gay people are stupid, but a large...
Okay. We're not too spicy for YouTube.
When it comes to what they bring to the table and what a man has to offer. Typically what a man has to offer is stability, it's security, it's unconditional love. Women expect those things in return, typically just for sex.
So what this guy is describing is actually what beta males provide. or at least what they're advertising they provide. But in the modern world, women don't want these men. They're not interested at all in getting with men like this. They provide stability and, being nice and taking care of them and loving them unconditionally. No, they want Chad, the man that all men want to be and all women want to be with. And those men are not the same as these men. Those men are the kind of men you have to convince to be in a relationship, the kind of men that work hard, the kind of men that not just anyone can be. And they do the things that not just anyone can do. And they try to convince those men to then also love them unconditionally, treat them right, etc. And usually the girls fail to convince the guy to treat them that way. Okay. Cool. Let's go to this article. So again, this is what men don't have to deal with. If I wear attention-seeking clothing and enjoy partying, will people accuse me of provoking men? Why was she wearing such a short dress? Why was she out so late? How much did she drink that night? Why didn't she know better than to hang out with those people? When we discuss burglary, we never assign blame to the victim by saying that the beautiful garden in front of their house tempted the robbers. Actually, we do. Very often, people that get, stuff taken, they weren't careful in how they portrayed that stuff. They provided a tempting target, right? Same here. Same in this case. In the case of women being harassed, people often justify it by putting the onus on her provocative appearance. Obviously, this stuff is a crime, guys. I'm not condoning it. But what I'm saying is, women can dress in a certain way to get attention, and they know that. And if you're going to go out like that with zero safety net, bad things might happen to you. This is what, girls used to be taught this by their sisters, their mothers, their grandmothers, their fathers, their cousins, their uncles, their aunts. Everyone used to teach women this. But now, nobody teaches women this, and they go out and put themselves in very risky situations. And then bad things happen, and then they blame society. No, you yourself can do things that can cause you problems, and you need to take accountability and personal responsibility for how you're dressing, how you're acting, what you're doing. This is how you prevent that problem. Okay, we're going to end the video there. Again, if you're new to the channel, liking the content, please hit the sub, hit all for notifications. If you'd like to support me, I do have a Patreon with exclusive content. It's patreon.com/theheliosblog. Just go there and subscribe to any tier. Any level of support is appreciated. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy day to listen to my content. I really do appreciate it. You guys are wonderful, and I will see you next time.